Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gohndim and Gilmore Show. Today's episode is brought to you by the Boston News Network, the only new age digital newspaper that brings you only the facts.
So for today's episode, we decided we need to show our creative side to do some storytelling. So the two of us wrote our separate stories, which we haven't seen each other's stories yet, which are pretty short. And we're going to read them to each other, discuss our short stories. And then after that, we recruited some, was it just poems or also short stories? I'm not sure, from our audience.
I think the announcement I said poems, but we do have I guess we don't have any short stories. They're all kind of poem light, I guess. Yeah, but we have, is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we have 6 or 7 entries here. And then, yeah, so Gilmore will read his story, I'll read my story, and then we'll jump into the poems that were submitted by our community members. We're going to live vote on who had the best poem or short story, and then the winner will get a $5 Steam gift card, 10 if it's an exceptional story. And just for the record, Gilmore, this was your idea to write these stories, and you also said in text chat that sexual themes and anything else was allowed, so...
It's true, and I may regret it going forward. The one thing, though, before we get to the poems and stories, is when we're voting, there's only 2 of us. So should we do ranked choice voting top 3?
I think we can, live debate it out. I haven't read all the poems yet. I just kind of
I haven't looked at them yet
into a document. So I think we can kind of just live react and pick. All the names have been removed. The poems were sent to Evie beforehand, and then Evie sent them to us without any names attached. So we have no idea who submitted them. Although reading this first one here, it says in the Dark Knight of Toronto. I'm guessing that is Mitch, seeing he's in Toronto. But a bold play letting us know whose poem is who. But yeah, I think we can just live decide.
Okay, that works.
If we disagree, the tie goes to the person who's got the highest IQ. So I'll just pick the winner. Okay.
Perfect. Love it. All right. So we ready?
I am so ready. You warned me that my sister's going to be in this story, so I'm a little afraid.
No, I was joking about that. Yeah, I would never do that. All right. So Here we go. So my story is called The Gilmore and the Gohndim. One day, Gohndim looked around at the remnants of the piss gourd in which he normally spent his time, but was unjustly banned and had to find a new home. He set out on a journey through numerous platforms and servers. He scrolled through text and emojis and kept going until he reached the bunker. The bunker was small, but thriving, and Gohndim stopped to reconsider the situation. He couldn't see any way to progress, so he entered the server and checked the messages, all while thinking that he might have to turn back. Suddenly, he saw Gilmore, who was discussing if Ethan's lawsuits were immoral. He decided to ask Gilmore for help getting acquainted in the server. "Hello, Mr. Gilmore," wrote Gohndim. "Would you be so kind as to get me acquainted with the server? Maybe we could even start a podcast." "Well now, Mr. Gohndim, how do I know that if I try to help you, you won't try to sabotage me?" asked Gilmore hesitantly. "Because," Gohndim replied, "if I try to sabotage you, then I would just be sabotaged as well, for you see, I cannot host a podcast by myself." Now, this seemed to make sense to Gilmore. He asked, "What about if the podcast becomes popular and then you sabotage me? You could still destroy me and keep all the money from the podcast." "This is true," agreed Gohndim, "but then I'd be throwing away all of our future earnings." "All right then," said Gilmore, "but how do I know that you won't just wait till we become the most popular podcast of all time and then destroy me?" "Ah," crooned Gohndim, "because you see, once we become the most popular podcast of all time, I will be so grateful for your help that it will hardly be fair to reward you with sabotage, now would it?" So Gilmore agreed to start the podcast with Gohndim. Gilmore worked tirelessly to garner a larger audience and make incredible content. They were 100 episodes in and well on their way to becoming the most popular podcast of all time. They had just passed the Ben Shapiro show and were catching up to Candace Owens. They were on the precipice of overtaking the Joe Rogan Experience for the #1 podcast in the world by recording an episode with the one and only Bastiat. Right when they pushed the record button, Gilmore suddenly heard knocking on his door. "SWAT, open up." Out of the corner of his eye, he saw a SWAT officer readying his AR-15. He pulled the trigger and fired 42 shots into Gilmore's torso. Numbness crept through his limbs. Did you swat me? Asked Gilmore. Gohndim giggled. You idiot, croaked Gilmore. Now the podcast will die. Why on earth would you do that? Gohndim sang a jingle to Gilmore. I cannot help myself. It is my nature. Gilmore sunk further into his chair and died like a dog. Following his death, President Buttigieg flew the flags at half-mast, honoring Gilmore's contributions to society. Gohndim was arrested and tried for capital murder and, even worse, doxing. He was sentenced to life in prison. While in prison, Gohndim took on a new co-host, Ghislaine Maxwell. Over the next few months, the podcast sank into mediocrity, and Gohndim lost all of his money and Counter-Strike inventory. The end.
What the fuck? This is a horror story.
I think it's a pretty fun story, no?
I thought when I knocked, it was going to be me. What the hell?
That'd been pretty cute. Like a meet cute kind of thing.
Kind of fucked up, Gilmore. I asked you, I think it's pretty good. I like the boss seat appearance. Did you choose President Pete to be president because you're a homosexual, or is that just a coincidence?
Coincidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
I asked you before the podcast, though, how nervous you are for my story. Can you just tell our audience?
Oh, I thought that was on air, but I'm going to say I think you said out of 32, and I said 10, I believe.
Oh my God, was that already in the podcast? I'm losing my mind.
It may not be, but in case it wasn't, it was 10 out of 32.
Well, with my story, I went with a little bit of a Christmas theme parody. I hope that's okay. Any questions before I jump right into it?
Am I Jewish in this story, or am I Christian?
That is not revealed. I think it's better to cast a wide net and not alienate anyone in the audience at this time.
Okay, then I'll let's just go for it.
All right, I want to keep the sneering and the interrupting down to a minimum. I might laugh myself. This is a pretty funny story if I do say so myself. If Sharpie's listening, this is not AI. I did write this myself, Sharpie. So, all right. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through Gilmore's house, Gohndim was stirring, his hand up Gilmore's wife's blouse. Her stockings were black, legs smooth with no hair, and hoped that Gondim's hands would wander you know where. Gilmore gave her no children, a house with empty beds, visions of strong, beautiful progeny danced in her head. As they French kissed by the fire, off came another strap. Thankfully it was all a dream, and Gilly awoke from his nap. He rushed down the stairs from his goon cave in such a clatter. Where the fuck was his wife? I must find out what's the matter. Away he ran to her last known location in a flash, threw open the doors to the den, ready for a clash. But she wasn't there, and something glinted on the shelf. He downed 2 shots of whiskey to steady himself. Now he was worried that she was actually being bred. He would find that devilish Gohndim and smash in his head. Before opening the basement door, he grew a tense smirk and grabbed a kitchen knife, his podcast co-host to murk. The noises that hit his ears as he descended made him curl his toes. A trail was marked with discarded, mostly pink clothes. He sprang through the door and gave a shrill whistle. Reveal yourself, you cheaters, he charged like a missile. But only his wife was on the couch, with no one else in view. Finally, Gilmore, I left a trail of clothes for you. The sweat on his brow he wiped away with shame. How dare he call into question Gondim's good name? Gilly quickly moved on, shed his clothes, and flicked off the light. Happy Christmas to all, and to all, a good night. The end.
That was incredible. Incredible.
Oh my God, are you alive? I thought you were going to be dead.
I was clapping.
Oh my God, I appreciate it. So
I gave a standing ovation for that one.
Oh my God. So I tried to get you to commit before the podcast if you would let your wife listen to the story. Are you going to let her listen, or no? Is it too sexual?
Well, I'll let her listen, and she can have the option of stop listening whenever she wants.
Oh my God, what the hell? But it's a happy ending.
It's funny because, like, my story, like the juxtaposition of the two, mine starts in like a happy, silly way and ends in me getting murdered and you going to prison for life. And yours starts in like a worse way than has a happy ending. So I like how our minds work.
All right. Yeah. Audience, you can vote on who has the better story, and then we'll take your Steam gifts for the winter sale. Okay.
Perfect.
Let's just jump into the poetry entries. I think we'll alternate and you'll go first. They're anonymous, as we said, and we'll just live judge them afterwards. We can discuss each one if we want, maybe just a few quick things, and yeah, we'll move on pretty quickly.
Yeah, we could have a little combo between them. I think that works. All right. So the first one doesn't have a title, but I'll just start from the beginning. Where did you go, Monsieur Bastiat, O short neoliberal king? Didst thou set sail off the oil-blackened gulf, never again to be seen? Didst thou heed the siren's call of OnlyFans she-ness? Once thou twere stout, last alive gaunt, where did you go, Monsieur Bastiat, O neoliberal to the end?
Okay, I take it you were not the most enthusiastic reader of Shakespeare in your class.
Yeah, I've only read I think Hamlet and maybe Romeo and Juliet, but that's about it.
Yeah, all that shit's retarded. Okay. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Another Bossied appearance here. Neoliberal King. OnlyFans reference. I like it. I like it.
Wait, so what's the connection with Bastiat and OnlyFans? Or am I out of bounds here?
I think we just used to joke that instead of spending time with his wife, he was hanging out with like e-girls and shit. One time he had like a really late night call with Sushia, who I'm unsure if she had an OnlyFans at the time, but I think she was pretty close. I'm not sure if this was either pre or post Destiny fuck either, so I don't really know. But yeah, I wrote an article about like Bastiat stays up all night with OnlyFans models instead of spending time with his wife or something, whatever the title was. So there's just kind of a recurring joke.
Okay, fair.
All right, I kind of gave a spoiler for this one already. Guessing this is Mitch, but this is titled The Ledger Knight of Crimson. In the dark night of Toronto, where numbers align, dwells a keeper of balance, a guardian of sign. By day he reconciles with columns so neat, debits and credits in rhythmic beat. But when dusk descends in the spreadsheet's sleep, he dons his armor, his vigil runs deep. Not steel nor shield, but a keyboard's might. To forums he marches, prepared for the fight. For crimson glory, that radiant name, he battles the mods in their endless game, except Cernus. They wield their rules with bureaucratic grace, yet he counters with logic, a daring embrace. Fairness, he cries like a true CPA. Transparency reigns, let justice hold sway. Through threads and replies, his crusade burns bright. A Canadian accountant, a digital knight. And though the ledger may call him back soon, he dreams of his triumph beneath the red moon. For honor is earned where the brave proclaim, in the war for the coveted crimson name. Wow, this is good. I like this one. I felt enthused reading this.
Very
for sure,
professional.
Mitch.
Yeah, definitely Mitch. I'm just a tiny bit concerned about the M dashes that are in there, but otherwise, I really enjoyed that one.
That's what those are called, the double dashes, M dashes?
Yeah.
Is that a sign of like autism or something? Why are you concerned about it?
No, that's like a ChatGPT thing.
Oh my god. Mitch, is this AI? Oh, now we have a this is concerning. There was a good line in here too. I liked it. Fuck, now I can't find it. There was a line that I thought was really, really neat.
I thought the Canadian accountant digital night line was good, but I don't really understand it, but it just sounded really cool when you said it.
Thank you.
So
yeah, I think pretty good.
All right, so I'm gonna go to the next one. I think I know who did this one, but we'll see. All right, here we go. I live in a bunker. It will never go under. I buy Steam games for boy wonder and donate to Gohndim social security number. Shout out Pacino the Dunker. They call Merles the Confronter. I love the bunker. We will survive the drama plunder.
I think that remains to be seen. I think Doobie and Destiny are speaking like right now or imminently, and Pisco reviewed our previous podcast with Kafka today. I'm not sure if we're going to survive the drama plunder. So
yeah, maybe it's a very optimistic poem, I would say.
Wait, so you think you know who this is? My guess was this was Deegs, but then why would he shout out Pacino the Dunker? You think this is Dunk Pacino?
It's funny because I at first thought it was Dunk Pacino, only because I've never seen someone call him Pacino the Dunker, but now I'm kind of second guessing it, so maybe it is Deegs.
Wait, who did you think it was? You thought it was? You said at first you thought it was.
Yeah,
because this is Pacino the Dunker. Would he call himself that? I don't know.
I have no idea. I would put it past him.
I feel like this is Deegs. I don't know why I think that. I just think that. I don't.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's fair.
Okay. Yeah, that is pretty good. I like Pacino the Dunker. I don't know why. Dunk Pacino's just a really funny fucking name, and he's like the newest Crimson too. So, just a great fucking name.
Congratulations, by the way, Dunk.
Yeah, big ups. All right, moving on. A mystery solved. Where all my... What? Sorry, let me restart. A mystery solved. Where all my have cookies gone? Caught on camera, an old man, white beard, red suit. Must be that guy from the mall. Okay, I thought I misread it at first, but
I think the words are kind of switched around in that second sentence.
yeah, where have all my cookies gone?
Yeah, but maybe this is like a Shakespeare thing. I don't know because I haven't read much of his stuff.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think this is the moral of the story is Santa ate the cookies, you know. Did you ever leave Christmas cookies out for Santa?
No, because I'm Jewish.
It's fucked up, man.
Sorry.
All right, you're next, buddy.
Okay, so this is the last and final one we have here.
I have one more. There was a late entry that Evie didn't send in the group chat, so I have one more after this.
Perfect. So this one goes, push open room door, Gilmore in the far corner, now arrives the ball. I didn't care so much for that one.
Oh my god. Can you read it one more time just because it's about you?
Nah, it's okay. I think we're good.
Is that a classic haiku? Does that actually work? Is that a 575? Push open room door. Yeah, it's a haiku. Well written. Now arrives the ball. No more thoughts on that one?
No, that's all I got for that one.
All right, this was the late entry from Evie. Came in like 30 minutes ago as I was typing the show notes. The title is Gilmore Origin Story. There once was a lawyer from Nantucket. Whenever he went out, he would tuck it. They said he went woke, pretending nothing to stroke. Sharpie said, femboy, I'd fuck it.
Okay, that was a better one. I like that one.
You like that one? You want to be fucked by Sharpie?
Well, no, but it was a cute one though.
Oh my god. Vlexer live chat reaction general chat said y'all said they were anonymous. Evie betrayed us. Vlexer hasn't even heard the episode yet. What the fuck? MK.SC says, what the hell? I'm sure Mitch's changes were transformative. I don't know. He didn't. Did you see Mitch's response? He said it was inspired by AI with some changes by me.
Oh, did you ask him if it was AI?
Yeah, in general chat in the server here. I'm reading the live reactions right now, although they can't hear the podcast, so it's just kind of funny.
Too bad. Yeah.
Let me just ask, just scrolling through these, which one is your favorite sticking out to you?
So I think that I think the Ledger Knight of Crimson is definitely in my top 3. And then also the first one, although I don't know much about the Bastiat lore, but I think I'm leaning toward the Ledger Knight of Crimson.
Yeah, but bro, this is half AI. We can't know for sure how much AI this is. I mean, is it good enough to do AI and modify it a little bit? Is that your stance?
I think you should drag him in and ask him how much is AI, so we get like clarification on this.
I'm not sure if he'll be able to live join us. I don't know. I mean, I would have said the Ledger Knight of Crimson too, but he admitted it was AI. I think that falls out of it for me.
Okay, so if we're getting rid of that one, I would say, I'd say the most clever one is the second to last one about the guy at the mall.
The guy, the most. Wait, say it again. Say what you just said again.
The mystery solved where the cookies have gone. That one.
Do you think that's the best one?
I think it's the most clever one, but there's no mention of either of us or the bunker in it. So that's the only thing like keeping it down for me.
I like the one that I think might be Deegs though. I live in a bunker; it will never go under. It's a little simple, I guess, but the dunker. Just for the record, it can't be the final two and the one that you see because I did actually submit both of those myself just to troll you. So
yeah, I figured since it was the same kind of well, some also background. Evie said there were like 4 entries or 5 entries, so I figured that, when you said there were 6 or 7, it was a little concerning.
I am proud of the Gilmore origin story though. Okay.
Yeah,
it's tough. So we have really only 4 to choose from.
We have 4, yeah.
So your favorite is the Santa one. If we can't pick Mitch's,
if we can't,
let me just see. Let me see if I can just live ask him how much he modified. Okay.
Okay.
I'll see if he can join the pod live right now. We need to interrogate him, I think.
All right, and we have a late entry right under the wire, and let's do this one. Batten down the hatches, boys. Stay the sails and rigs. Fix the locks and latches. He survives is who he digs. Down into his very chest anchors heart and soul. Storms like this your will can't rest. so let it wash and roll. Across your mind in crashing waves, but loosen not your grip. We sojourn long ways to our graves, but stiffen not your lip. See, the flood it flows and slices, cross a deck across your heart, and the horror it effuses seems to push away the coast. Deeper into darkness, sailor, deeper into Nyx, is where the maelstrom pulls us for as long as you could resist. Steel yourself and grip its hands that wroth its very birth. Pull it close, embrace it, let it scorch your inner earth. Soon you will have broken both your jaw and will alike, and if you cannot sail a storm which from your heart does strike. That was a bit of a tongue twister, but
Yeah, I
for
think very well. I think very well written, and maybe the best well written poem, other than AI or Mitch's AI masterpiece, obviously. Only downside is no reference to the bunker or the crimsons. You know, that's what I think we have to balance here. That's the scales.
or Christmas for that matter.
Or Christmas or Christmas. I mean, which poem gets me? Or Gilmore. No references to Gilmore being a cuck or a femboy.
True.
Um,
Well, I wasn't a femboy in any of them, to be fair.
well, you were in the last one. What do you mean?
I thought Sharpie was.
No, he was talking to you because you're walking around tucking your, you know,
Okay. I must have misunderstood. It was a little tricky, that one.
doesn't understand art. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, my gut says, I mean, I would pick Mitch's so hard if it wasn't AI. I love it so much.
I think we have to disqualify him, like kind of like Barry Bonds from the Hall of Fame.
All right, what does your gut say? If you had to pick one right now, just tell me.
It's
You would still
so
go Santa cookies?
it's so tough because I'm thinking more about it. I think the Pacino the Dunker one is the funniest one. And it's hard to compare to serious poems like the one we just got. So it's really hard to say which is the best. That's my my struggle here.
Let me just go back and read the announcements. I think we asked that. Let's see. I didn't really say that it should be referenced to bunker, so I think you said that in text chat afterwards. So I think the most well written is probably the late submission, the one that I probably liked the most. But I also probably have to hear it again. It's a little complicated, I guess.
I would totally read it again, but I don't want to butcher it for a second time. So
I think I'm going to have to award to. I would give mine. I think to "I Live in a Bunker."
okay, yeah, I think I agree.
You agree? All right,
Yeah.
we will see. I don't know who the winner is off the top of my head. I did message Evie, but I should have done it earlier. That was my mistake for not. So it's not Evie's fault. We'll figure out whose poem this is, and we'll announce it on a subsequent show, and we'll make sure you get your Steam gift card. Okay?
And just to be very, very, very clear, the by far best just general poem was obviously Marlowe's, but
Well, I still like "There Once Was a Lawyer" from Nantucket, but
that's a cool one. That's fair.
Gilmore, great idea for the creative writing. I think we'll maybe try to do it again and give people more notice. We only gave them like 2 days, and it was a lot of fun reading, or excuse me, hearing your story and writing mine. So it was a good idea.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad to hear that the end of your story had a happy ending. So, I hope we help to tap people into like their creative endeavors going forward.
Yeah, ditto. That's all for today, folks. Thank you so much for listening.
Adios.